Hi you all, thanks for tuning to QVH Beauty 101. Today's video is going to be about processed hair versus unprocessed hair. A lot of people are trying to make processed hair look like it's bad and it's not good. You know, you have to have the best quality hair that's unprocessed, nothing's wrong with it. It's not always like that. Just because the hair is processed doesn't mean it's bad. It might be processed, chemical process or steam process. Just like Glamour House of Hair, they have a process line which is steam process for curl, just to give you that curl texture, the curl pattern and things like that. I prefer hair that's steam process compared to chemical process, just in case you know chemical processes. Sometimes they use different chemicals just to get that curl pattern, that body wave or that curl type pattern, stuff like that. And the thing with that is, when you have hair that's chemical and steam process, when it's time to color the hair, it loosens up that curl pattern or that wave pattern. I know you've probably seen companies or see people that review hair and they're like, their hair is really pretty, but as soon as you put any kind of color on it, it's dead. Like no curl, no wave whatsoever. And that's because it's steam process and chemical process. And then you're doing another process. You're lifting the hair and then you're depositing color to it. So that's one con that you can see with processed hair. But not all processed hair is bad. Like you have some really nice curl patterns that's chemical process. Another thing you can tell that's chemical process is the smell, like that corn chip smell or different kind of formaldehyde smells. You can know that's woo, that bad boy has been chemical processed. Even with a steam process, you get wefts that kind of straight, like 1-2 inches, and then has little wave. That's chemically processed. So that's things that you might not like about it. But with it, sometimes you have hair that's chemical and steam process. You can have really nice lusters. You can achieve textures that match your hair better. Sometimes these Asian and Brazilian and Filipino vendors or people, they're not having hair like us. You have to process it just to mimic our hair textures. This is like kinky curly yaki. They do Malaysian process to a kinky curly or afro curly or light yaki or coarse yaki. That hair blends with our hair and it has to be processed to achieve that look. Doesn't mean it's bad, doesn't mean it's going to tangle up on you, doesn't mean that it's not going to last you a long time. It just means that it has to be processed to blend with your hair texture. Just like if your hair is straight and you want to have your hair is naturally kinky and you want it to be straight, you have to chemically process it to be straight. If your hair is naturally straight and you want a perm, like a jerry curl, you have to process it to have that jerry curl. Doesn't mean it's going to damage your hair or it's bad for you, you know? But that's the difference with steam process and unprocessed. Unprocessed on the other side, raw, unprocessed. Sometimes when you have hair that's raw, unprocessed, curly, you can flat iron it straight and do a lot of things to it, and it doesn't tend to loosen its curl pattern with time compared to having hair that's already curl processed. But with unprocessed hair, that bad boy is hard to manage sometimes. Sometimes it get really frizzy, sometimes it's hard to tame, sometimes it doesn't match your hair texture to a key. When it comes to unprocessed hair, I feel like Russian unprocessed hair, it's really nice. It blends with our hair textures very well, especially because it comes with medium luster, you know, medium coarse, different textures that blend with your hair. Not because you're African American or Hispanic or a different race doesn't mean you have necessarily very coarse hair. I don't have very coarse hair. I have like really fine hair. It's thick, but it's fine. So very coarse hair doesn't really blend with my hair at all because my hair isn't very coarse. So they do give you that option. Just like Filipino hair. Filipino hair is really silky and it's thick. If you have a relaxer, it might blend with your hair. If you want to do clip-ins and things like that, it might blend with your hair a lot better than other textures. Only thing I noticed again with unprocessed hair, it takes better to color with me. What I've experienced, it takes better to color because it hasn't gone through those processing levels of being steam processed or chemical processed during the journey. So that's another thing you need to keep in mind. The thing with unprocessed hair, normally it costs a lot more than the processed hair, even though the processed hair has gone through more steps. Just to find that raw state of the hair costs a lot more money. That's why Russian hair is more expensive. That's why some Filipino vendors are more expensive. That's why South American hair is absolutely ridiculously crazy expensive. I bought some and one bundle was like $200, you know? Like it's a lot more. It costs a lot more money most of the time when it comes to unprocessed hair. They do have companies that do have processed hair. steam process hair, like Bella's Dream here that have good quality hair. Some people say it's good, some people say it's bad, you know, depends on you. Sassy Mitchell has steam process hair, but it's great quality hair. QVH Beauty has steam process hair, but it's great quality hair, you know, but it's more on the expensive side. Like one bundle of QVH or Sassy Mitchell costs you like $230, $200 compared to buying from Glam Goddess. Comparing to a company like Glam Goddess that has affordable prices, they always have sales. Compared to having processed hair, just choose. Another thing about unprocessed hair is most time when you buy unprocessed from the source, meaning if you order from Alibaba and things like that, it comes in ponytails, raw version ponytails. Sometimes those ponytails are hard to match all together when you're buying that hair. You buy a kilo, you might get 3 ponytails or 2 ponytails that are slightly coarse. You might get 1 ponytail that's very coarse. You might get the rest of them medium coarse. So that's another thing that you have to think about if you're trying to order straight from the source instead of ordering from American vendors or American or British vendors. So that's another thing that you need to worry about. Even when you get the hair and you receive the hair, you have to get that raw hair wefted. Wefting takes time. I can recommend Sam and Pat. I personally have used Pat. She's done a great job with my wefting and she's had great customer service. So I go to Pat and get my hair wefted. When you buy a kilo, they put tons of rubber bands on it. Those rubber bands weigh. So when you're buying a kilo, you're buying around like 35 ounces. Those 35 ounces, after you take your rubber bands off, you might be left with 30 ounces, to be honest, 30 ounces. And then when you get it wefted, you need to hackle the hair. When you hackle the hair, you lose hair during that process. You buy a kilo, you might get 8 bundles after the whole wefting process. So you do tend to lose hair. You need to keep that in mind. You need to make sure whoever you send your hair to, that they have the cuticles in line, because if they don't, that hair will tangle so bad on you. It will matter. Even if you have great quality hair, if the person does not weft it correctly, it will turn on you. So that's another thing when you're ordering raw, unprocessed hair, sometimes you have to deal with those issues. And when you order processed hair, you really don't have to deal with those issues. Most time it comes wefted. It's really steam processed to any kind of curl that you want to have it already formed. So those are 2 pros and cons that you can choose from. Me personally, I like both. I like unprocessed Russian hair a lot better than Brazilian hair nowadays. Brazilian hair is nice, but it depends on what kind of company you're ordering from. I like to order from companies that have been established for a while when it comes to Brazilian and Peruvian hair, because I get to see more feedback reviews and things like that. So just keep that in mind when you're ordering hair. And don't think just because you're ordering processed hair, the hair isn't good. A lot of ladies try to make other people that can't afford processed hair bad. Like, oh, you getting that Brazilian hair, the Peruvian hair, girl, just get some Russian hair. Like, it's not that serious. If they can afford Brazilian hair. Brazilian hair tends to be a lot cheaper nowadays than Russian hair and things like that. Let them go for it, you know, like whatever rocks your boat. So again, if you like one over the other, please comment below and let me know which one you like. If you like the processed curls or you just like yours raw, uncut, nothing done to it, just like it is, nothing done to it. So thanks for watching. God bless.